Hi guys, Paul here. Today I'm going to be doing a shave with a new soap that I'm real excited about. This is a soap that is from Ginger's Garden, and the soap is called Haight Ashbury. And this is a patchouli based soap, obviously to bring the whole hippie sort of smell theme to bear. And I really love patchouli, and this is a really nice soap. I love the smell of this stuff. It's kind of a sweet patchouli, not a real smoked, dark patchouli, but kind of sweet. It's sweetened up with vanilla and coconut. It's also got some tobacco absolute in there, I think. But to me, I get the patchouli and I get the vanilla, and really a nice combination. Just a lovely soap, and love the smell of it. So I'm going to be using a brush that was made by Scott Pavkovic. I think earlier this week Scott said that he was going to stop making custom brushes. He's kind of lost the passion for it. So sad to see him not making brushes anymore. But this is a brush that he made for me last year around Christmas time. I had him make some handles for me for my business partners that I gave him for Christmas, and I had him make this one for me. And it's a kind of a Cubby style brush, and it's got a golden nib grade A silver tip knot in it, and it's just a great brush altogether, and really glad to have it, and sad to see Scott stopping the brush making business, but I'm happy to say I have a few of his creations, and I love them, and I'm just going to keep plugging away with them, and I'm glad to have had a chance to get them, and there you go. So here's a soap. It's kind of a softer soap, but really nice. It is a vegan soap, so but really lathers up nicely. You can see, lathers up really quickly. We'll load the brush here. Good. Let's go ahead and apply some to my face. Give it a good loading here. That should be good. I'm just going to rinse off the puck and set this aside. This brush is a 30 millimeter knot, and it is the grade A silver tip from the golden nib. It's a great knot. It's pretty soft. It does have a slight amount of scrubbiness to it. It's a little bit more, slightly more scrubby than the premium silver tip, but you can alter the feel of this brush by depending on how high or how low you set the loft. You know, if you set the loft lower, it's going to be scrubbier and feel denser. If you set the loft a little higher, it's going to feel a little softer and have a little bit more flexibility to it. So this one's set about perfect for me, and it really works great for face lathering. It's not even though it's a 30 millimeter brush and it's relatively dense, it's not particularly hoggish with the lather. I'm just going to add some water here to the lather, and we'll get the shave in here in a second. As you can see, that soap really lathers up easily. Really good stuff. So this is a third soap that I've tried from Ginger's Garden, and every one of them has been just outstanding. Their performance is great. The other ones I have are the Arctic Mud, which is the kind of mentholated mint smelling soap, which is great for the summertime. Really a refreshing scent. And the other one I have is the Fougere Fern, which is just really one of the nicest earthy fougere scents that I've come across, and another one that I just really love. So this is the third one, and this one is probably my favorite scent out of the bunch. I just absolutely love this patchouli. It is fantastic. So there we go, and we'll go ahead and get started here. I'm going to use a straight razor, and this razor is a Boker keen cutter. This is a vintage Boker keen cutter. This was given to me by my cousin Don, who's a barber in Spokane, Washington, and a little shout out to him. This is the second time I've used this in one of my videos, and it's a great little razor. It does have some water spots on it, as you can see, but it's actually in really pretty good shape considering the age of it. And it took a pretty nice edge, so I'm pretty happy to have it. So we'll go ahead and use that one. This razor is a full hollow ground razor. And as with all the hollow ground razors that I've used, they all make quite a sound. They have tremendous audible feedback when you're using them. You can really hear them cutting through the whiskers. I don't know if that comes through on the video or not. But it is one noisy son of a gun. So with the straight razor, my first pass is always just straight down, which is with the grain on my cheeks, and it's actually across the grain of my neck. My hair grows from midline to the ear here, and I know Busta had a video recently where he was trying to get some advice on how to get closer on his neck, and it's always been a problem for me with the straight razor, being able to go against the grain. Really can't do it on my neck. It's just, you know, because of the length of the blade, it's just really not that easy to go. You really can't go this direction, so it is hard to get completely smooth on my neck. But there's a couple things that I've done to get almost there, and I'll just kind of point those out as I go, and you can use them, try them out if you want. If not, that's fine too, but it's just what I do, and it seems to work okay for me, and I'm pretty happy with it. So second pass with the straight razor, I just go straight up. Again, cross the grain on the neck, and it's actually against the grain on my cheeks, so and you know, I think with anything, with all things shave related, you just have to kind of find what works for you. Okay. Rinse off here a little bit, and then I'll go ahead and do my third and final pass. So for the third pass, I go kind of across the grain, and I hold the razor in my right hand, and I go from ear to nose on this side, and then nose to ear on this side, and then when I come up on my neck here, I kind of come up at a little bit of an angle, so that even though the hair grows this way, it gets it, you know, kind of gets sort of a against the grain pass there, or a little bit more of an oblique across the grain pass. And that really helps, I think, for me get a little bit smoother on my neck, and it seems to work pretty good. And then I'll usually pull up right here, so always on the jawline it's kind of hard to get against the grain, but I found if I kind of pull up here, I can get that against the grain pass here on the jawline, and you can shave it on the flat part of your face, which is a little bit easier. And then here I'll kind of angle upward a little bit. And there you go. So on this side, I just keep the razor in this hand, try and you know, minimize the switching back and forth. And then to get my jawline here, I will kind of pull up and kind of come down this way. And there you go. And then for the here, for my neck, again, I'll hold the razor. Now, here's where I switch hands. I'll hold the razor kind of at an angle, kind of tilt my head and retract the skin. And kind of come up at a little bit more of an oblique angle there. And that's pretty much it. 3 passes, and I usually will call it good. You know, is it perfect, perfectly smooth everywhere? No, there's still some stubble through here. I mean, I can clean that up if I want to, but I usually don't mess around with it. But it's pretty smooth, cheeks and jawline. is all pretty good. You know, this is actually my trouble spot right in through here, no matter what razor I'm using, double edge or straight razors or whatever. So it pretty much is pretty much a problem area no matter what. And I've just gotten to the point now where I really don't worry too much about going crazy there. It's smooth enough for me and comfortable enough. And after straight razor, I always use a little bit of alum on my face. I don't necessarily do that with a double edge razor, but I think with the straight razor, I always like to use the alum. It gives me some feedback as to, you know, areas that I may have been pushing a little too hard, or and you know, today it feels pretty good. My cheeks feel real good. There's always a little bit of burning and with the alum on the neck, but not too bad today. Actually feels pretty good. I just let that sit for a second, and then I'll wipe it off and then go ahead and apply my aftershave. And today I've got the matching aftershave. When I got that soap, after I got the soap, I had to have the aftershave, so I got the matching aftershave. And this stuff smells great. And you know, for an aftershave, this stuff actually has some pretty decent longevity and projection. It's pretty amazing, you know, for an aftershave product. You know, this actually, you know, can be used pretty much as a cologne as well. It really has some pretty good staying power. The Ginger's Garden aftershaves, they have some aloe vera, witch hazel, alcohol, water, glycerin, propylene glycol, and fragrance. And so they are a little, because of that aloe vera, they do have a little bit more of a tacky feel than just a straight up aftershave splash. And there's always a little bit of menthol in them, which really feels nice. And the menthol, as it comes standard, is not overpowering in any way. You get that nice menthol cooling effect, but you don't really have the overpowering menthol smell to detract from the actual smell of the aftershave, which is nice. So I really like her, Irina's aftershave products. Her aftershaves are really nice. I've got a few of them and I really enjoy them. And I love this one. This one just smells absolutely great. Again, it matches the soap spot on. So anyways, guys, that's the shave for today. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a great rest of the weekend. Talk to you later. Bye.